Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I'm bringing you another episode of What's Broke Today. Today it's more of an update kind of episode than anything, because been trying to, this will be third attempt on doing this, because last attempt I ended up with a 30-minute video, which was a little excessive, I thought, for a follow-up. But where it's at is on my 77 F-150. Roughly about 5 or so months ago, I've installed the Intellitronix ignition box on this, which is this cool little blue box that is a multi-discharge spark kind of box. Has a rev limiter in it and a few other goodies. And I started tell you about the whole story, because you know, my dad bought this new in '77. I've been driving it since I was had my learner's permit back when I was 15. And this thing has never been a fast truck, as you'd put it. I mean, it always ran okay, but you know, as I got more miles on it, and in the 29 years it's been my truck, it had at times got progressively worse, you know. So I started out with a carburetor rebuild, and that helped a little because the accelerator pump was bad. Of course, I tuned it up, spark plugs, wires, and all that good stuff. But you know, nothing I did ever made it run the way I thought it should, because there for majority of its life of me driving it, it was an extremely cold-natured vehicle. That you know, yeah, we said let it warm up. You can never start it and within a couple minutes take off and go anywhere. And it died on me one day out in the back behind the barn while I was picking up brush, and distributor failed, so I replaced that. And I started having trouble with it, acting like it ran out of gas. So I put a fuel pump, replaced the fuel line. Then I got into a point where it was backfiring out the exhaust real bad. So I'd replaced the ignition box for like the second time that I did it. Ended up replacing the coil, thinking that might be it. And then the last go around, when I was getting a severe backfire out the exhaust, you know, it would just totally lose spark, and then it'd come back, you know, for unknown reason. It only did it while I was driving, never had any trouble setting. You know, I could fiddle with it here for an hour and it never missed a beat. So I broke down, decided to change out that ignition box, and after doing that, I wish I'd have done that a long time ago. That I never realized that the 99% of my problems I was having was probably all related to the ignition system, which what I'm going to guess is, you know, the coughing and some of that backfiring, especially through the carburetor, was I'd go to accelerate and it wasn't generating enough voltage to fire the fuel system or the fuel mixture in the cylinder, because you know, as you step on the gas and cylinder pressures increase, it requires more voltage to spark and stuff like that. So I put that box on, and initially I was real leery about going out and driving, because you know, I got to the point where I was worried it was going to die on me. I was going to have to walk home or get a tow truck. So I didn't go very far there for quite a while. And then I put that box on, and I was still with the gun shy. I'd drive a mile or two up the road, turn around, come back, check, everything seemed okay. And it wasn't until I had probably about the 5th or 6th time I did my short test drive, I decided I'd extend it out, and I went about, I don't know, 10 miles up the road, 10 miles back, a 20-mile round trip, and got back and realized that truck's fixed, because that I'll say hesitation and backfiring the carburetor. The only time I have any hesitation or that is if I start the truck and immediately get in it and go. If I let it run just for a little bit, you know, say a minute, maybe 2 minutes, then it takes off just fine. My overall performance has went up greatly. I mean, the truck accelerates better than I ever remember it accelerating in the time I've driven it. I was getting probably about 8 to 9 miles to the gallon. I think I'm up to almost 14. Then I gotta check it again with this next tank, but you know, great increase in fuel mileage. You know, you get on the highway, if you step on it, I mean, it'll accelerate down the on-ramp, boom. You can be running 70 when you hit the highway. And considering these in 77 with all the emission controls, I mean, these are only maybe 170 to 175 horse motors. I mean, we got 400 cubic inches here. So, very impressed with that. Idle quality, so much better. Pull spark plugs out, check them. They look, I mean, they always looked okay, but now that it's running right, they're almost perfect. As far as the color, and you know, when you look at how the porcelain, you know, the tint on it and the color of the electrode coming up over the top, I was looking great. Yeah, I'm just thoroughly impressed with putting that ignition box on. It has revived this truck. It's made it dependable, fun to drive, more economical to drive, and I'm about to the point where I wouldn't be afraid to hop in it and go anywhere. That, you know, I took it and drove it, the other day. That was probably a 50-mile round trip up into the city and back. And of course, I drive it. It's not perfect, but I get comments on it. People like the looks of it. Right now, it needs a bath, and we might do that later today or tomorrow. Go up to the car wash, or we might break down and do it here. All depends on where I feel like getting the garden hose and everything out, because it's going to 70 today. But yeah, I thought I'd tell you, I mean, if you got an older vehicle that you got goofy problems with ignition, especially this had that Ford Duraspark, and I will bet that my problem didn't rely on components. It relied somewhere in this wiring, because this wiring's, 47 years old, you know, now. So I'm sure I've got a bad connection somewhere, or one of these connectors that, you know, because you can't really look inside of that and tell. I mean, it looks okay and things plug together good, but you know, somewhere there's a problem. But I am just so much happier with the way this thing runs and operates. That's unbelievable. And I mean, that box was easy to install, because you know, if you've got a 12-volt power source under the hood, and I'm using a stock style distributor, I just changed out the connector on the distributor to plug into the box. You know, it runs straight to the coil, and I mean, you can run it off of, this is a MSD blaster. It'd plug into just about any kind of, you know, high output coil. And there's even a way to hook this up to an HEI distributor and make one of them coils fire. It's got all kinds of instructions in the book depending on the application. I mean, you can run off a points distributor if you wanted to. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I wish I'd have done this a long time ago, but just thought I'd update and let you know that how well that turned out. And I appreciate you watching. Love all those thumbs up for the likes. Definitely, I mean, comments, I love reading them. You know, I got a few questions. I try and answer them as quick as I can, but some of them require a little bit of thought, you know, because when I'm not there and actually looking at something, I have to put thought into what I think you should do. Also, thank you to all my subscribers. That I think I'm up around the 300 barrier. The goal is 500, because somewhere around the 500 barrier, I think I can start making some income off of this. So income off of this means maybe some sponsorship, maybe some who knows what all. I mean, allow me to do some more fun stuff instead of a lot of the stuff that comes in is work. So, but hey, I appreciate you watching. Just stay tuned because no telling what else you're going to see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.